Hello, this video will discuss about the zodiac sign of Aquarius or Kumbha as it is called in Sanskrit. In our earlier videos, we did discuss about the zodiac signs of Aries through Capricorn, and this is 11th in the series. Now, Kumbha being the 11th zodiac sign represents the 11th house naturally in the Vedic horoscope, and all the significations of the 11th house will be related to Kumbha. Also, the natural ruler of the zodiac sign of Kumbha or Aquarius is Saturn. Now, let's see what Kumbha actually means in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, Kumbha means a pitcher or a jar or a pot, and mainly earthen pot. So this is the translation of what Kumbha means in Sanskrit. So the purpose of these videos are to go into the basics of Vedic astrology and see what the ancient scriptures say about Vedic astrology, how it has been explained, and what the great sages and the great masters of Vedic astrology have mentioned in their teachings, just to make sure that our readings are very accurate, and also because there are a lot of so-called Vedic astrologers out there who mix Eastern or Vedic astrology with Western astrology and come up with their own imaginative ideas about Vedic astrology, which we should be very careful about, and we should protect ourselves from such kind of teachings, and just to make sure that what we're learning about the Vedas, Vedic astrology, is coming right from the source. So what does sage Parashara say about the zodiac sign of Aquarius or Kumbha as it is called in Sanskrit? As per the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, which is a compilation of the teachings of the great sage Parashara, who is considered to be one of the fathers of Vedic astrology, he says that people born with the ascendant of Aquarius or Kumbha are generally tall and very strong. So that is one of the features which sage Parashara has mentioned. Also, as far as their complexion is concerned, they're generally fair-skinned and they look pretty handsome. So look out for charts with Aquarius ascendant and you will definitely see this kind of a feature. They're also intelligent, and they are very intuitive as well, because they can see through you and they can read you very well. And extremely practical people who would weigh the pros and cons in case they have to take a decision. They're not going to jump into any conclusion or any decision making process in case they have to. They will be very, very careful in going through the due diligence, so as to say, and this has been described by sage Parashara. So this is not some kind of an imaginative thing which we are discussing here. We are going to the basics. Also, one very interesting feature of Aquarius people, and we're discussing people with the ascendant of Aquarius or Kumbha, and also the moon sign or Rashi of Aquarius of Kumbha. We have to look first at the ascendant and then also look at the moon sign as well. And that's because moon being the closest to the earth, it does have a great impact on the birth charts of people. So Sage Parashara also describes a very interesting thing about Aquarius ascendant people. And like I said, we have to take into consideration the moon sign of Aquarius as well, that these people are a little slow in understanding things initially, but once they get a hold of them, once they get a hold of those things, then they can do it and handle it with a lot of confidence. So they may appear to be slow learners initially, but they'll just pick up and then they're in control. So very important characteristic of Aquarius zodiac sign. They are not selfish. That's a very important characteristic of Aquarius ascendant and people with the moon sign of Aquarius are concerned. And very human. They do care for others. However, they do not move out and interact with anybody and everybody. They have a select group of friends and social circle whom they would like to interact with. So that's very important feature related to Aquarius ascendant and the moon sign of Aquarius is concerned. So watch out for such people. They may appear a little closed, but no, they are very selective in whom they interact with. So they're not closed, they are just very selective. People may think that they are reserved. Yes, to some extent, yes, because they don't like to interact with everybody and anybody. But it's because of their choice of friends and the choice in the circle of people whom they want to interact with. Generally, Sage Parashara has mentioned, and we've already discussed this earlier, that they can be good readers of the mind. And Sage Parashara has also described it once again that they are very intuitive people. So wherever intuition is involved, Aquarius people do great. And like I said, we're considering people with this ascendant and also the moon sign of Aquarius or Kumbha. So intuition is another thing. Married life generally of Kumbha people is happy. However, they like to see and look for an intelligent partner or a wife whom they can interact with. And that makes sense because they are very selective in their choice of friends, in the circles in society where they move in. So they would definitely want the intellect level to be the same, or the intellect level of the spouse to be at least at par with them, to be able to be happy and be contented in their married lives. So that's very important. So people with this ascendant or moon sign should interact or have relationships or marriages with people whom they can intellectually connect with. So that's very important because that's what they like and that's what makes them happy, as per Sage Parashara. Otherwise, if there is a mismatch between the intellects between spouses, and one of the spouses is an Aquarius ascendant or an Aquarius moon sign, then there's a problem. That person who has an association with Aquarius will not be happy in their married lives. It's very important. Also, Sage Parashara has mentioned that this Rashi, and he has very clearly mentioned, we did discuss about the Sanskrit translation, that it means a pot. However, Sage Parashara has very clearly mentioned that the Kumbha Rashi, or the zodiac sign of Aquarius, represents not just the pot, but a man holding a pot. And this has been described thousands of years ago by Sage Parashara. A man holding a pot. And in another place, although Sage Parashar has mentioned in one place that these people have a fair skin, but another place he has also described that their complexion, although will be fair, but it is a little brownish in color. So it won't be dark, fair, but a little brownish in color. So that's two places he has mentioned different things. But if we combine both, yes, he can be fair as well as a little brownish tinge as far as the complexion is concerned. Sage Parashar has described that this Rashi is very strong during daytime. So they have the intensity, people with such ascendants and such moon signs of Aquarius or Kumbha have intensity in their intense or energetic towards the daytime. So they are very strong during daytime. It's an airy Rashi described by Sage Parashar, because of course we know that the lord of this Rashi or zodiac sign of Aquarius is Saturn, and Saturn represents the air element. So this Rashi naturally is described by Sage Parashar as an airy Rashi. And also the residents of this Rashi, like we have discussed in our earlier videos about the residents related to different zodiac signs. Some have been described as it resorts to forests, or some have been described to villages, or some have been described to, like this Rashi likes to, or this zodiac sign likes to live in the mountains. However, as far as Aquarius zodiac sign is concerned, or the Kumbha Rashi is concerned, Sage Parashar has described that they like deep water. That doesn't mean that, you know, people with this ascendant or zodiac sign of Kumbha or the moon sign of Aquarius will go and live underwater. No, it doesn't mean that. But when he says that it resorts to deep water, as described by Sage Parashar, he would mean that yes, water is a very important element as far as the residence is concerned. So you will see there are places which may have a fountain, may have, you know, some kind of an aquarium inside their houses, or some kind of a pool, or some kind of a waterfall. So they love to be around water, and deep water is what has been described by Sage Parashar. It is a tamasic Rashi, and we have discussed in our earlier videos about what is Sattva Guna, what is Rajoguna, and what is Tamoguna. And tamasic is a Rashi, or a Guna, not a Rashi. Tamasic is a Guna which has been described as a Guna with a little darkness or lack of intelligence as a Guna. That doesn't mean that people with the zodiac sign of Aquarius are not intelligent. It doesn't mean that people with the ascendant or the moon sign of Aquarius are not ascendant. It just means that this Rashi is tamasic, and in the real world, what is real intelligence we don't know. The real intelligence could be a foolish thing for one, or an extremely intelligent thing for one. But based on the Vedas, Sattva Guna is pure intelligence, Rajoguna is more on the worldly side, and Tamoguna is intelligence which is related to not being wise from the Vedic perspective and to be on the darker side. So that's what Sage Parashar means by describing this Rashi or zodiac sign as being Tamoguna or Tamasic. Also, as far as the Varna is concerned, it is described as a Rashi which is associated with the fourth Varna, which is the Shudra, and we've described and we've discussed the Varnas in our previous videos. The Brahmin, the Kshatriyas, the Brahmins are the priests, the Kshatriyas are the warrior class, the Vaishyas are the business class, and the Shudras are the working class, which is the fourth Varna. Of course, in today's day and age, these Varnas do not make sense, but thousands of years ago, that is what Sage Parashar has described about this Rashi or zodiac sign of Aquarius. And of course, Sage Parashara has mentioned that the lord of this sign of zodiac of Aquarius is ruled by Saturn, or Shani as it is called in Sanskrit. And he has also described very clearly that Saturn is the planet Sun's sun. So the planet Sun is the father of the planet Saturn that has been described by Sage Parashara, who rules over this Rashi or zodiac sign. So this is what has been, and we know that in Vedic astrology we do consider Sun as a planet. So maybe in astronomy it's not, but in Vedic astrology, out of the 9 planets, Sun is a planet. So Sage Parashara has described that the ruler of this zodiac sign of Aquarius or Kumbha is ruled by Saturn, whose father is the planet Sun, or Surya as he's called in Sanskrit. So this ends our discussion, and it's not possible to discuss everything and anything about zodiac signs or planets or whatever we've been discussing in these videos, because it's so huge. Astrology is like an ocean. But yes, whatever we did discuss about the zodiac sign of Aquarius or Kumbha within the time constraints we have, and we will be taking up another zodiac sign or another topic in our next video. Thank you.